I'm not here to try and become king of Earth. I'm not here to get suicided. I'm not here to do any of that. But I do have a huge contingent of young men who believe in me. And I do understand that the things I'm teaching them are good for them. And by extension, it will be good for society. I'm not trying to take over the world. I'm not stupid. But their attack has failed. So now they have to sit and, if they have a brain, analyze what they're going to do next. Saint status is coming one way or another. I truly and utterly believe that. I'm already having conversations with very important people. And Rumble were the first people who stood up to me and said, you know what? We've got your back 100%, including financially. And they offered me a huge financial incentive. And I said, you know what? Don't worry about that. You keep the stocks. Don't worry about it. Boom. Because I don't need money. And when you don't need money, it also puts you in a very, very powerful position. It's very rare you find a man who has that much influence who doesn't want money. I don't want money. I believe in what you're saying. Let's do it. I believe in this. Let's do it. I don't need money. And one of the reasons I was glad is because it gave me a chance to address the consciousness of the world. There were certain rumors about me which had spread like wildfire. And the unfortunate reality of the internet is, if there's a rumor about you, no matter how many times you dispel it, if there's more clicks and more interest in perpetuating the rumor, that's what people are going to do. And this ban is, to a degree, a chance for a fresh start, because it allows me to discuss all the rumors. People talked about me hitting a girl with a belt and me being a woman beater. I know I'm top G, but you can't just be a human trafficker and run around the world and get away with it. Like, that's insanity. What it does do is the Matrix has fired every bullet it has. It's the empty clip. They fired he's a people trafficker thing. It's been proven false. They can no longer repeat it. They can't take the bullet back and reload the gun and shoot it again. So instead of having it as a nagging annoyance, instead of having it as the odd bow and arrow shot at me for the rest of human time, I'm glad they shot me with the M16 and it's done. And I survived, top G, here I am. And I can finally understand that it can't be repeated and it's finally gone away. I knew I couldn't just be some normal guy. I'd feel guilt. I'd feel dirty if I was just some normal dude. Like, I can't just be, I'm his son. You know, like in the old movies when you watch Conan, they say, Tate, the son of da-da. I was always the son of Andrew Tate, even at the chess tournaments. It's the son of Tate, the son of, the son of, the son of. The expectation was there. And instead of it preventing me from creating my own identity, it was actually the opposite. Okay, I have to be fantastic. And I was cerebral enough. I said to my dad, look, I can't be as good at chess as you can. I don't think I can do this. And they say, well, you could, but belief is a huge part of it. So if you don't believe you can, then what else are you going to do? Because I remember telling him I didn't want to play chess anymore. He said, that's fine, but you're not going to not play chess and fucking watch TV. You play chess for 6 hours a day, so you need to come to me with a plan for 6 hours a day, son. What are you going to do with your life? And I chose fighting because I said, listen, chess is one-on-one competition without luck, without a team, no ball, no wind to blow the ball on the net. What if I fight? I said, okay, I respect that. You can be a fighter. So he wasn't trying to force me to do anything, but he was a very regimented individual, and that's who he was. And I had so much respect for him, and he was my superhero. I wanted to be like my dad. And even from a very young age, even if you were to Google up my dad, Andrew Tate, and look in the chess community, they called him E.T. for Andrew Tate, but also E.T. like the alien, because he was a bit strange. But the way he played chess was so unorthodox that sometimes he had some spectacular losses, but sometimes he had some spectacular victories against some of the top players in the world. So everyone was scared of him because he played with such recklessness that he was like, it was blitzkrieg. If you get through it, you survive, you get to beat him. But when it's coming hard and the heat's on, he destroyed some grandmasters so badly that they took like a year away from tournaments, like genuine like embarrassment. That's how he played. So nobody wanted to play my father because it was a risk, right? Because he's only top 200 in the world, but he's smoking top 10. Sometimes he loses, but sometimes he'll fucking take your head off. So he was an anomaly. So whenever I went to a chess tournament, they're like, Tate's here, Tate's here. There's always the rumbles and Tate's here, Tate's here, Tate's here. So the name was always feared. And I think that was part of it for me. I wanted, when I turned up to a fight event, Tate's here, Tate's here. I want my name to mean something, right? I wanted to mean something like, and that was always very important to me. And I was just told, look, you want your name to matter, then you have to go make it matter. It's not going to matter by default. As you excel in life, you're going to have a lot of enemies. And if you can't rely on your brother, you can't rely on anyone. And I think especially with young men, if there's never going to be a physical line, what line is there? Especially with young rebellious men. I don't know. But maybe that shaped my mindset for a long time because I always understood there are lines that if you cross, things become physical. And I've always kept that in mind for how I conduct myself. I say this all the time. Once again, I said this in YouTube videos. I don't argue with people. If I get in a disagreement on the street, I don't argue. I don't, hey, bro, you parked. That's not who I am. I'm like, okay, bro, leave it. I leave it to the last second until I feel like there's no other choice, and then it's pure violence. Because I don't see the point in arguing. That's feminine to me, verbal arguments. Like, I try my very best to de-escalate, because you never know who you're fucking with. You never know if they want to go to jail. But there's a line, and it gets to that line where that's the only possible repercussion. That's all that can happen. And I try very hard to stay away from that line, but I've always been very aware that line is there. And that served me very, very well in my life.